Jai Gurudev, everybody. Let's begin doing the pranams and then we begin. Om Ajnanaatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurum militam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakam Chanagorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Hare Ram Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ya kundendu tusharaharatvavala ya shubhravastra ya vina varatandamanditakara ya shveta padmasana ya brahmachuta shankara prabhitibir deve sada vandita samam patu sarasvati bhagavati bodhi pradam sharade bodhi pradam sharade. Okay, welcome Bhavani, Pandita Bhavani.
Jai Gurudev, Swamini. Jai Gurudev, everybody.
So nice to have the chance to be with you here. So
Thank you for having me.
well, thanks here to Guruji, who is the one who gives the good ideas. So so well, what I would like first is that you tell us a little bit about how you met Guruji. How is your story with Guruji?
So, in 2000, actually, let's think. So, it all started actually with a friend of mine, by a very close friend. You know her. She sings the Shine Arati. We're friends since when we were teenagers. So we've known each other for a while. And basically, uh, she had told me about Guruji when I was around 20 years old. And at this time, I was already with another guru. And so when she was explaining to me, oh, I have a guru, and I was a bit confused because she was also participating in the same organizational activities as myself. And yeah, so basically, when she told me about him, I was kind of a bit confused. Let's just say like this. And so I thought, okay, that's nice. I'm happy for you, and you do your thing. But at the same time, I was wondering. It felt like a seed had been planted in some ways that was later on to be sprouted. So a couple of years later, it so happened that the whole topic came up again. And she asked me, would you like to come with me to go and see Guruji? And she said a couple of us are going to Stephanshof, which is the old ashram at the time. And I said, okay, why not? We were poor students, so we could only afford very cheap flights. And at that time, Ryanair was very active. So we were all booking our flights with Ryanair, and we could get a flight from London, because I was living in London, um, for like £10, which
Amazing.
is crazy cheap. Crazy cheap. Can imagine it now.
Mm.
And so, yeah, basically, we would get a flight out every weekend or so. But when I first met Guruji on that trip, um, yeah, it was an interesting culture shock for me because I came from the Sati Sai organization.
Mhm.
I don't know if any of you are familiar with it. It's different style, different approach. And so when you're grown up, I was born into that organization. So I was raised in it, and so that's all I knew. So when I came, I saw Babaji. Oh, I didn't know it was Babaji. I didn't know who some of these. I was born into the Hindu background. I knew all the deities, but I didn't know who Babaji was. And and yeah, the singing was different. Everything was different to what I was used to. And so I remember sitting there for the darshan and looking around, and people were crying, and I didn't have this pradibhigna, feeling. It was very like, okay, what's going on? This is a bit strange. I don't know anything. Okay. And I had my guard up, let's say. I was like, okay, let's not go into this too quickly because I don't know what this is about. And so yeah, it was very casual, let's say, with Guruji at that time. And he was incredibly patient with my, I would say, casual stroke rude. And then I look back and I thought, oh my God, like, how can you talk to anybody like that? But I don't know what happened. I was just so like, okay, who are you? And I remember my first interview with Guruji. I walked into the room and he looked at me and he said, I've met you before. And I was like, okay, I haven't met you before. And he said, yeah, I have. And I was like, okay. So I just went with it. And then, so we were there for like around 4 days. I remember that trip was around 4 days. And I was still kind of like wondering, what is this about? But by the fourth day, or so, maybe it was the third day, something shifted inside, and I can't explain it. Something shifted inside, and mostly because I felt bad for my attitude. And just on a human level, I thought you can't be rude. Just at least have some decent respect. You come to somebody's home. And so I went up to him and I said, I'm really sorry for how I've behaved. And at that time, there weren't many people around Guruji. So it was always quiet weekends. So you could, if he was around, he was easy to approach in that respect. And also he gave permission at that time to just approach him like that. So I went up to him and I said, like, I just want to apologize for my behavior. And he said, it's okay. It's fine. I'm used to it. So, okay, don't be used to this. It's not good. And then I asked if I could touch his feet. And that was the beginning of the journey, I would say, in 2005. So, yeah.
Okay. And that was the beginning. And how did it go, more or less? Why did you leave at some point?
So in 2009, it was a really interesting time, I would say. I suppose doubt crept in. Also regarding association, listening to people, questioning, overthinking. And then you begin to, for me, it was an interesting experience because it wasn't about doubting Guruji, it was doubting myself as to whether I could actually progress in this arena. And I was thinking, well, maybe Guruji's wasting his time on me. And then that whole way of thinking led down like a rabbit hole. You go more deeper and deeper and deeper. And it ended up so much so that I ended up questioning God and divinity and thinking, right, well, maybe I don't know anymore. And when I had left, I took all my pictures away, and it included all divine aspects. I had a picture of Jesus, I had Mother Mary, I had Guruji, I had Krishna, Durga, Kali. All of these I just took and put aside and put inside a closet somewhere. And for that year, I tried my best to deny God. I was like, no, I don't want to think about any aspect. I don't want to think about anything to do with God. And it was really a struggle because you then don't know what to turn to. And so um, I was developing a void that I didn't know how to fill. And I remember going to work and I felt like I was not myself. Like it's such a strange, strange feeling of feeling like empty. And this kind of cloud of depression had kind of enveloped me. And it was so intense that I didn't know how to communicate it with people around me. I didn't know how to really be happy because I was touched by the grace of Guruji. And when somebody's been touched by Guruji, that imprint is very hard to deny. And when you try and deny it, you can't really function that well in life. So I experienced something that I would never want to experience again. And it reached such a climax around 2000. It was 2009, so now it was 2010. I had a picture of Guruji, and it was the picture that in 2008 I had. So this picture I'd always worshipped. It was my deity. It was just a normal photograph of Guruji, and I would communicate with this picture all the time. And in 2008, I was with Guruji in Italy, and he said to me, he was talking to me, and then I asked him, so what do you like to eat? Do you like to eat this kind of, food? And he goes, yeah, it's nice, but don't make sure it doesn't have any egg in it. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, sure. And then he said, but make sure you don't rip this picture. And I thought to myself, what a strange thing to say, because why would I ever think of ripping this picture? But fast forward 2010, when it reached such a moment, I had grabbed this picture from the closet where I had put everything away, and I took it out, and I was thinking, you know what? Anyone please help me, because it's such a bad feeling, such a bad, I don't know what it was, place you could say that I was in. I took this picture and I just smashed the glass and I took the picture out. And very dramatic. And
And
and I looked at this
you
picture.
try to rip it or not?
Yeah, the thought was like, and I didn't. I just said, look, gotta help. And not soon after, I would say 2 to 3 weeks later, Guruji comes to the UK. And that was the time when we started, because a couple of us had left at that time, we started to return. And I was still very guarded, even more so, like, what did I say, guarded, angry, because I thought, well, what's just happened, And I remember Guruji walking in into the corridor in Feltham ashram temple, not ashram, sorry, temple. And I looked at him and I just felt compelled to ask, even though I was in such a bad mood. I said, can I touch your feet? And he said, yes. And he's so gracious about it. And we sat together in the small little living room. We had tea. I was still sitting there in the corner, like, what was this about? and and then I was still like, okay, I'm not just going to follow people because everybody's just going back and what. So now I go back and everything's okay again. Um, I was still like, no, I need to figure this out. I need to own my relationship with Guruji. And so, and at this point, if there is a relationship with Guruji, I need to own it. So, in 2000, still 2010, that month, it was Guru Purnima, and everybody was booking their tickets. And I was still like very defiant, like, well, I'm not just going to book my ticket because everybody's going to Guru Purnima. And then I had a dream, and Guruji came into my dream. And sorry, that's the dog.
Okay.
Can you hear?
Yes.
He's sleeping. Now he's barking at some rabbit in his dream. And he came into my dream and he said, what are we going to do about your pride? And then I woke up and I thought, yes, I must go to Guru Purnima. I booked my ticket straight away, first thing in the morning. I took my flight to Springen. It was Springen then. And as soon as I reached Shupitinilia and saw Guruji, and I was sitting there in the tent, I was just crying. Like, it was tears just flowing I felt like life had been brought back into my body, and this is where I meant to be. And I remember that Guru Purnima, actually, I was sitting there in the front, and I believe it was a darshan at that time. I think Guruji gave a darshan just before that day. And Swami Parantapa was called up by Guruji, and Guruji said something to him, and then all of a sudden I see Swami Parantapa coming to me, and he goes, Guruji wants you to speak. So I got up and I just told them what I went through. Because it's sad to say, but it's human nature, I suppose. We value things when it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's the mistake that we make a lot of the time. And with Guruji, it's such a shame to do that. But to walk away, I pray for those who have, because I cannot imagine you can be happy. Sorry. I don't believe it's possible. If you have had Guruji in your life, and it's a very bold statement to make, and I'm going to just say it, I don't care. If you have been touched by Guruji in your life and you walk away from him, you cannot be happy. You can pretend, you can be happy, and you can convince and fool yourself for as long as you like, but it's not possible. I've walked that for 1 year, it was enough. So I wouldn't advise anybody.
It's good to advise them, at least.
Yeah, usually I say yes, do make your life, do whatever you want, blah blah blah, it's your life. But this I can say with absolute conviction, you will not be happy. Guruji is not somebody that comes into your life. He is the essence of your being. That's the one thing I discovered. He is the essence of my being. I say that with conviction. If he is not in my life, he's not part of my life, I cannot live. It's not. Yeah. So yeah, that's the experience.
Nice. Because in the end, all those experiences are very worthy for other people. Of course, it's not nice when one has to go through them, but in the end, things like that, I guess, have to happen somehow. And everything is a good plan, no? But
yeah, everything is planned, I suppose.
Yeah.
We all have to go through life, and it's a journey. You cannot judge each other, it's true.
Mm.
But the
Yeah, it's
pain
good.
of losing a
Mm.
Sadguru is, yeah.
Absolutely, and that's why your experience is very important, and to share is so important, no? Because at
Mm,
least maybe if someone, for example, has heard your story and is about to do something stupid, maybe this person thinks about it, think twice, and don't do it, no? So the that's also important, that we don't do same mistakes as other people did, no?
yeah, yeah.
And now we are going to jump a little bit until this year, the beginning of this year.
Mhm.
But I don't know, maybe you knew something, because I don't remember now, but I think Guruji said something. I don't know if it was before January or not. I don't remember. But did you know something about the pandit thing or not
Uh,
before it happened?
so basically, it was, yeah, I think, um, sorry. Um, so it was a music rehearsal, and actually, Rishi Radhika had mentioned that Guruji had mentioned something
Mm,
about
mm,
this.
mm,
And at that time, he said there would be 5 Prabhus that Guruji was
mhm.
thinking of. And then it was New Year's Day, and he added 4 Matajis to the mix. So yeah, I didn't know it would be 4 Matajis. I
Mhm,
just knew that there would be 5 Prabhus. And then, of course, that night, Guruji had mentioned it in the New Year's Eve live stream. Yeah,
mhm.
he said something
Yeah,
then.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And well, first, can you explain a little bit what is a pandita in Bhakti Marga? Because perhaps some people know the term pandit in general in Hinduism, but yeah, it's important to know what is in Bhakti Marga.
Sure, sure. So in Hinduism, Sanskrit, it literally means a learned person. But in the context of Bhakti Marga, so Guruji explained that it's not about being a knowledge teacher. It's about uh, he said preaching actually,
Mm-hmm.
and speaking and going and talking to people about the love of God. He did say it's not about converting people,
Mm-hmm.
but it's about reminding people of the love of God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fundamentally. So, one of, I suppose, that would be the main
Yeah,
thing.
the
Is
main duty.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And then, of course, you have the rituals that go with it. So we do the samskaras, which are the rites of passage, which we go through in life as a Hindu person.
Mm-hmm.
Sanatana Dharma shows various rites. So you can have like the conception rite, the 3rd-month pregnancy rite, the 6th-month pregnancy rite, the 7th month is
Wow.
loads, and then you can have a car ceremony, Vahana rite, and the hair cutting ceremony, the first feeding of the baby, the first writing, which is usually a Sanskrit word, Om
A
or
lot.
something. There's a few things to learn, exactly. So yeah, and weddings and funerals, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but this is it's all very new for us too.
Yeah.
So we're kind of learning, and we're trying to figure it out as well, with Swami Keshav helping us just to guide us a bit.
Mm.
It's a new phase, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think, well, for sure. I mean, Guruji has his plan, his perfect plan.
Yeah.
But it's like we are growing a little bit more, expanding in different ways. And for example, when the first devotees left their bodies, and we began already to do the death ceremony, he was
Mm.
saying it has to be done by a grihastha. But
Mm.
at that point, I mean, most of the people who did it, like me or someone in Portugal I know, we were monks, no, sannyasin, brahmacharinis, because usually we were the people who knew more about rituals, no.
Yeah.
But of course, is different the role, even if we are very similar, because you can initiate devotees also like swamis or rishis. And also for me, as swamis, I think the main thing is to remind people about the love of God, because that's what Guruji says always. But yeah, maybe we now you can see that you play different roles because you are grihastas, you have a family, and you can help more people with these samskaras, with these ceremonies for people who are married, or have
Mm.
children.
Yeah. And I
So,
think it's also nice for sannyas and brahmachari as well, because it gives more clarity as
mm,
well, I think.
yeah,
And that's also beautiful.
yeah,
So when you're making that step, it's more clearer even.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And also, it's like it's a step more to know the beauty of Sanatana Dharma, I think, because in the end, in all of those steps, you are thinking of God also, no, and not forgetting Him in your life, and it helps that He's more present, no, even if.
Yeah.
I mean, among devotees in Bhakti Marga, he should be present, no? But but it's an example also for other people.
Yeah, exactly. It's like recently for Just Love that the new phrase was celebrate life, isn't it?
Yeah,
So it's the same kind of thing. In Hinduism, we celebrate life
yeah,
in every stage.
absolutely. And talking about that, about celebrating life,
Yeah.
um it's funny because I really think uh, that's part of the Hinduism also, in the way that people dance and sing. Maybe
Yeah.
in every culture anyway, no? But I wanted to ask you a little bit of that facet in your life, because you sing super well, very beautifully. Same with dancing. Also, you were organizing the theater plays for a long time in Sri Pitanilaya, like the screenplay, everything. So, um, how did it begin in your life? That part.
Um. Okay. So, dancing. I started learning Bharatanatyam. Bharatanatyam is maybe. Do you know anything? Maybe other people. I can
You can
explain a tiny
explain.
bit.
You can explain a little bit. Yes, please.
Sure. So Bharatanatyam is one of the 8 classical art forms, dance art forms in India, and it stems from. Actually, it's linked very closely to the Natya Shastras. Well, its origin is the Natya Shastras. So the Natya Shastras is an amalgamation of the 4 Vedas, and at that time, in the ancient time, you know, going back a long way, um, the Vedas were only accessible to the Brahmins. And so, to make it accessible to people of different levels of society, um, this Natya Shastra was received by a Rishi, and he basically put it into, he made it accessible that the arts was seen as a mode of worship, a means of worship. So you have like poetry, you have how even to set up a stage, sculpture, singing and dancing, and many other art forms as well. So Bharatanatyam is from this kind of place, and the reason it's so special, at least for me, is that it's it's centered for God only. So what we dance about are the leelas of the Lord. So when you're looking at the dancer, or if you are dancing, you're always thinking of God. And it's it's actually, dance was more my thing compared
Mhm.
to music
Okay.
when I was small. And I I grew up in a temple environment. Actually, it was not far from where I lived was a Ganesh temple, and basically we were part of the community in that temple. And in that temple were a number of teachers that came from Sri Lanka and South India, and they would teach the arts to the kids.
Mhm.
So we learned dancing, veena, some were learning flute, some were
Mhm.
learning, various other things. And so, yeah, I started learning when I was 5, and I carried on learning for a while actually until yeah, I kind of until I met Guruji.
Mhm.
So, and music, bhajan singing was part of my life also. I mean, actually, I studied very basic music, but I was around um, many bhajan singers. So
Mhm.
people would sing a lot, and you just learn to sing, and you're kind of thrown into it. So
Mm.
yeah, it was nice upbringing. And then also, so my dance teacher
Mhm.
would organize theatre plays.
Aha.
So by participating in
Mm.
her theatre plays and observing how she would manage things and do things, I learned passively,
Mhm.
like through observation. It was, yes, a really valuable experience to be part of it.
Mm.
So I believe it was a lot to do with people around me and observing. She was amazing. She was really inspiring as a teacher, and yeah, her creativity was very inspiring. So yeah, and
Yeah,
then
Guruji put you in the right place to learn what you had to learn.
yeah, yeah, but also people here, like there's so much inspiration around me.
Mhm.
Many people are like, it's amazing, when we come together and we do a theatre
Mhm.
play. Um, how the ideas just flow, and somebody goes, oh, maybe we just try it like this, and the collaboration that comes
Mm.
with it's nice team effort.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
because I think because we are doing it for God and because we are working as a team. That's my impression. No, I was in one of the 5 element retreat I did with Guruji because uh, luckily for me, he did a lot of in Lanzarote, and also
Yeah.
he did one in Tenerife. And and as I was there in Spain, I was the Swami of Spain. I went to a couple of them, no. And in Tenerife, for example, in Lanzarote, the last day used to be a darshan, but in Tenerife, we had like a day off, so to say, and we decided to organize something for Guruji,
Uh-huh.
and and there was some singing. Sujata, I think it was the first time that she was singing for Guruji, and
Wow.
and then we did a theater play. So we divided the people doing different things, and it was amazing because everybody worked so well together, and it really flowed. We just had a couple of hours,
Oh,
and
wow.
And I remember texting Guruji, I think later, and I was telling him, it was so nice because everybody worked so well together as if we were one, no? And he
Mm,
said that's how it should be. And I remember
yeah,
that from the theater play, no, that it was like so
yeah,
easy.
yeah. I honestly feel that that is exactly the take-home message, to work together and, you know, be a team
Mm,
and hear each other out. It's very beautiful. I find it one of the most stressful times of the year.
I can bet.
but but at the same time, one of the most beautiful. Yeah.
And usually you were always like directing, but you were not taking part, or I don't remember. Were you acting
Uh,
also?
there was one play I directed and acted.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Which
it
one?
was the Jenabai play.
Ajanabai. Okay.
Yeah, Jenabai. I really enjoyed playing that character. Her, she's amazing.
Mm.
Yeah, she's. I love her raw authenticity.
Do you want
And
to
this
tell
is
us
the
just a little bit of Janabai so that if people don't know her?
Yeah, sure. So Janabai was a small girl actually, and she went to go to Pandharpur with her father and mother. And when she reached there and she saw Vitala, she knew that this was the place. Imagine, she was only 5. I don't even know. I think there's a story before that explains why her parents, I think they had a dream. They
Mm-hmm.
had a dream, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So that Vitalite came and said she belongs to me, kind of something like this, along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someone can tell me. I don't know. So yeah,
Okay.
anyhow, the play starts with how she'd gone to the temple and she saw Vitala and she didn't leave. And so her parents knew that they had to leave her. They left this girl there, and she was at the temple at the Mulastanam, and then Namdev, who what is amazing about this time is that all these saints were born
Yeah.
around the same time. So Namdev was there, and he's a tailor, and he came and he saw this girl, and he said, "Where is your parents?" As normal, you know. And she said, "I belong here. This is my place. This is my Vitala." So he said, "Okay, fine, you can come and live with me." So she went home and with him, and basically she ended up being the servant of Namdev, and he was her guru. So um their love was so magnetic to Vitala that Vitala would come to them, and he will come and eat in Namdev's place. And Janabai was staying in the hut outside like on the property, but
Mm-hmm.
not inside the house.
The house. Mm-hmm.
So when he was eating with Namdev, she would be complaining and be like, "Well, why are you not coming to me?" And then eventually he would come and eat twice and eat at hers. But this is not relayed in the play. But yeah, the sweetness of the relationship is so beautiful to see it. I feel personally in the Maharashtrian saints, because they are so simple and they're
Normal.
so
Mm.
normal, and it's so endearing. This is what I feel like it's all about, creating an authentic relationship with God, a natural
Mm-hmm.
relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what they had, and this is what they represent. um I could tell more, but I guess you can watch it. It's on the YouTube.
Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
was going to tell them. I think we posted at some point, and but we can remind again so that they can watch the plays.
Yeah. And we still upload some more later as the
Mm.
year goes. Yeah. Um uh, for me, I really enjoy the different relationships they all share,
Mhm.
because they're all so unique and none of them are the same. So it's it's very nice to see.
It's a very
It's
good
kind of
example because because all the atmas are unique. So of course you're not going to have to same relationships, no?
Exactly. So it kind of it stops the feeling of comparison in some
Mm.
ways, because you
Yeah,
end up owning your own relationship with him and walking your own path.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think that could be a great help if people can understand that there is no comparison possible and no one is better or no one is worse. It's really like we are all the same, but uh, everyone can have will have different paths and relationships and everything, no?
Yeah.
and,
Yeah,
and reading
exactly.
the stories of the saints, it's a very good help for that, no, because you see always that
Yeah.
they are all different.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
exactly.
And yeah, apart from that big challenge that you had at that moment, when you were maybe with not the right people, they were also not helping, and you left Guruji for that year. Do you want to share with everybody something else about the challenges you have had, or yeah, anything you want to share about that?
Um, so yeah, I guess, you know, one of the things I realized with walking, being with Guruji, sorry, is he'll always, out of his love and compassion for you, he will show you where you're at in your mind and your heart, and what needs to be rooted out. So the next years were not particularly very easy, even though I knew that I couldn't run away. He was the essence of my being. I was faced with having to look and challenge my own desires of what I wanted in my life
Mm.
in comparison to what he wanted for me. I remember once we were walking, and it's interesting to see how things link later on. We were Guruji would, back in the day, pre 2008, he would travel a lot to London,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes we will go on walks and we'll go to, we'll walk through London, because the center where he would go and give interviews
Mm-hmm.
was kind of in the central of London.
Mm-hmm.
So our late nights we would walk when the weather's good, and we'll walk around. And I remember I was so please do remember I was quite young. I was like immature, kind of, I'd say. I was walking, and a bit ahead of Guruji, and Guruji was shouted something at me as I maybe a couple of meters behind, and he goes, Do you want to fight me, Bhavani?" And I said, "Yes." I don't know what. I was like, "Okay." Because I was actually in a bad mood. I remember that day. I
Okay.
was upset because at that day I wasn't getting enough attention from him.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the immaturity that he had to weed out of me over time. I feel so bad. This is the most honest. So yeah, I was sulking. I was sulking. I remember thinking, this person's getting more attention than me. And yeah, and then he said, "You want to fight me, don't you?" And I said, "Yes." And later on, I see how I was fighting with my guru, because I wanted what I wanted and he wanted something different. And he would try his very best, actually, to sit me down, talk to me, and tell me, this is not the way for you, etc. For example, was interested in another relationship, and he was trying to tell me this is not right for you. And I wasn't listening. It was like I couldn't hear my guru, you know? And eventually, when you want to behave like the guru, he will show you what the outcome will be like. And so through that experience, without going into too much detail, he was showing me my level of pride, because fundamentally the ego wanted what it wanted, and he was bringing me to a place where he was showing me the extent of what a desire can, when you really want something, how hard it is to let go of something. And it's so much so, the desire was so strong that I couldn't hear my guru. But throughout all of that, he was really persevering. He was fighting for me. I was fighting against. And this is how the guru is. We think he's doing something against our will, but he's actually trying to get you to a different space that is beneficial for actually the relationship that you truly want, which isn't this relationship that we have on the outside. We don't really want it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make us happy. It hasn't made me happy. It can look very pretty and everything can look very pretty on the outside, but the real relationship is that which we have with our guru.
Yeah.
And so this whole experience was teaching so many things. Like even now, it teaches me so many things when I look back at it. There's no real conclusion. It's like, wow, okay, I see. You know, you learn to be vigilant. You learn to become more vigilant over time. Mistakes probably will still happen in my life. I cannot say that I'm a pure angel because I'm wearing white. It's not, definitely not that. But he teaches you also to be sincere with where you're at. Because it's very easy to wear a halo on top of it. You know, he says this all the time. You come with your wings and blah, blah, blah. And then he'll come and show you, well, you don't have any wings, my dear.
Sorry to say.
Sorry. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you try and fly off that building and you fall flat on your face. So it's good each time he's there to say, are you okay?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, okay. And so, all right, get up again. Round 2, let's go. And we keep going. And the polishing keeps going and keep going. So it's also fun. Like it's not doom and gloom is what I mean. It's how you look at it.
Yeah.
It's how you look at it. You can, if we don't choose to look at ourselves, it can be a problem
Yeah, and that's
for us.
one of the most important things, no? That everything that he shows us is is something to help us to look at ourselves, because if we don't do it, we are not going to progress, because the challenges are not outside, they are inside. No,
Yeah.
it takes a while,
Exactly.
maybe,
And the
to.
beauty also I find is that, you know, when you go through a hard time, you learn to have compassion for people. You learn to not think of yourself as somebody more holier than another person. And it helps you keep you in line with him, because I know I've made that mistake where you think you're above it all, but he keeps you in check, and that's the beauty of Guruji as well. Keeps you in check.
Yeah. And do you want to tell us? I don't know if you remember, but I know Guruji gave you a talk, I think, when you became pandits and panditas. Maybe from that day something got like stuck on your head, apart from the thing about sharing the love of God, but or I don't know, anything else you can think of that it was important for you at some point, no, something that he told you and you think it's important to share with people.
Mm, I mean, he told some things to the other panditas and pandits, which I'm not sure if I can share because it's for them.
Could be, yeah.
For me, it's more practical. Like, it was the fact that I need to travel and study.
Ah, yeah, that's a good point also for the devotees. So,
Yeah, to learn, to know your path. And yeah, traveling was one of them. And for those of you who might not know me, like, I don't really travel, so he pushed me out of my hole. So I was like, oh, but I like my hole. My little cave. And so yeah. So now it's just a matter of trying to fill up the calendar and just move outside of maybe past the cowshed.
but we know now that he is always to push us out of our comfort zone, no? When is the right
Yeah,
time.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think that was the main thing he said really to me.
Okay. And maybe I would like to ask you if you have any special experience with kirtan or dancing or with the theater plays in Bhakti Marga, no, with Guruji, I don't know, something that you want to. For sure, you have many moments, no, but sometimes, uh, yeah, maybe you don't. You don't notice in the moment because you just go and go. For example, when you have to sing, I don't know, in the events, in darshans, in Just Love, with so many people and rehearsing, because you are many times rehearsing with the guests that we have, and then the real performances. So yeah, I don't know, something you want to share about that.
In singing kirtan in general, or just like
Yeah, whatever you want.
whatever I want. That's dangerous, Harmony. That's dangerous. Uh, I think for me, kirtan, and I think for many people, kirtan is such a beautiful and simple way to connect. And when you're having a good day, a bad day, or just a very neutral day, it doesn't matter. It's your time to switch off your mind. And for me, chanting on the Japa Mala is very difficult. It's hard for my mind to just gravitate towards just chanting. So for me, kirtan is easier. And so I guess everybody has a different avenue, you know. Um, and it's a moment where you can just share with God. Sometimes, admittedly, I find it difficult in public spaces,
Mm-hmm.
interestingly enough. But there are times when you're singing, even if it's in a public space like Just Love, and you just switch off
Mm-hmm.
and you don't care. You don't care who's in front of you, you don't care who's listening, you are having your conversation. And it's a direct line. And of course, there are moments when the ego can take,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
can bear its ugly little head. But you accept it and you're like, okay, and go sit down and carry on singing. Because I think the worst thing is just to stop. And even if it is just sitting in front of your deity in the privacy of your own room, to spend that time, it's important. That's something that I have to remind myself to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we can get so busy with our schedule, with our day,
Yeah.
that we forget, right? And Guruji had been reiterating many times already that at least spend 5 minutes. And this just love, he said, imagine the deity, imagine. I found it so beautiful. You heard that meditation that he gave?
No, no, this year I wasn't listening to the meditations or the arati, nothing. So.
Yeah. So for Guru Darya Abhishek, he said this
Mm-hmm.
very nice, beautiful meditation
Mm-hmm.
where you imagine the deity seated in your heart,
Mm-hmm.
your Ishtadev, or, whichever
Mm-hmm.
deity you feel
Mm-hmm.
close to. And he said, decorate the deity as you wish, how you want, and worship how you wish. So it was such a beautiful way of the way he did he described it was so beautiful because and he said just spend that 15-10 minutes a day,
Mm-hmm.
where you can just do this, and then you can get on with the rest of your day. And sometimes, like, I find my day, I don't know about you, but sometimes I find my day rushing, 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 doing this and this and
Yeah.
this, and then you just miss that moment. You do your puja, you get everything, but you don't sit.
Yeah, you're doing focus really on that maybe.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so I found that really inspiring. I thought, okay, you know what, just make that effort, do it 5 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, and it can change the rest of your day.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, And if that is imagining the deity and singing to that deity
Mm.
or dancing,
Yeah.
whichever,
Yes.
cooking, whichever you gravitate towards, For some people, it's not dancing. For some, it's making him a good meal.
Yeah. It can be whatever actually, no? As long as you think of him and you take maybe those 5 minutes to sit quietly with him doing whatever you want to do.
Yeah. The key ingredient is love, right? So,
Mm. Yeah,
yeah.
and Guruji is amazing also because we have so many tools that he has given us, but as we tend to be mechanic, because maybe when we began to do puja, it wasn't mechanic, or when we began to do Atma Kriya Yoga, it wasn't mechanic, but it can be mechanic after a time. And he's always finding something new, like to tell you, hey, watch out.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't
Mm,
it? The number of tools that you have available.
yeah. And to finish, maybe I wanted to ask you, um, about Sangha. I don't know, because I mean you have been in kind of Sangha always, because you were first part of Satya Sai community, then also in Bhakti Marga. And Sangha is where most of the challenges come for many people, because
Mhm.
when it's normal, no? When you are with people, as Guruji said, uh, I think sometimes, but recently he said again, if you have two people, there is conversation. If there are three, then uh, I don't remember what he said exactly, but it was like you add more people
Conflict.
and it's getting more chaotic, more dangerous uh,
Yeah,
fights, no?
yeah.
So, mm, what would you advise, or what do you see like the big danger in sanghas?
The big danger in Sangha, I mean, I started living here in the ashram 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, and Sangha doesn't necessarily mean having to live in an ashram. It can be
Mm-hmm.
in your family, it can
Yeah.
be anywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wherever you. So ultimately, the biggest danger is, for me at least, yeah, everyone's different, is ineffective communication.
Mm.
And communicating from a space of not of of unkindness,
Mm.
because everyone has a different perspective and everyone has come from a different space, and we don't know the journey of everyone, right? We don't know how they've got to the place that they've had, what they had to go through. We only he knows, only Guruji knows. Um, but to take time to talk is very important if there's an issue. However,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes if you're in a situation where the other person is not willing to talk, what do you do? And in both cases, we just have to look at ourselves, right?
Mm.
There is something that we have to change. My closest sangha is my marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's very ineffective communication.
For
And
sure.
sometimes it's very unkind.
Yeah.
But you learn so much. You learn so much about yourself. You learn to face life with a bit of a sense of humor also.
Mm. Which is very important.
Very important. So I think there's a lot of positives about being in Sangha. You can learn so much. But I think to expect other people to react and to be a certain way doesn't always flow in our direction and to our favor, right? You probably know a lot more than me, Swamini. You can share. So that's my experience, at least.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. In the end, I think is what Guruji says all the time, that we cannot expect that we cannot expect that the world is going to change for us. If you think that that is like why someone is going to change for you. I mean, who are you? Why you want to change someone, or your surroundings, when you are not really 100% love, no? Because in the end, we try to change things that we don't like because of something, or because you think that your way is the the only way, or is the best one, but it's only a way to help you to change yourself, no? Because if we don't change ourselves, we cannot do anything with the out.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm learning through being married.
Well, that's probably
I
why
realize
you
I can't
married.
change this guy. Finally, I've come to that conclusion. I have to change myself.
Good.
So yeah, it's the same. It's a sangha. It's the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you said, we have to change.
Guruji is always going to put us, it doesn't matter if with your whatever mate, I mean your couple, your neighbor, your teacher, your whatever you have in life, so that you have to change because in the
Yeah,
end
yeah,
uh,
exactly.
we have to remember that we are divine, and be again the fullness of that divinity, no? And then that means also to be humble, because that's humility is what brings you closer to God, and ego and pride is the things that take you farther away. So in the end, he's always helping with those relationships, those sangha
Yeah.
relationships, no? Associations.
Exactly. We should be thankful, right?
Yes.
Thank you for, yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
because in the end is what you said at the beginning, no? If you maybe you hadn't had that experience, you couldn't have felt how your life was without Guruji, no? And then
Mm-hmm.
and then you said, yeah, you look for a relationship and you think that is going to make you happy, but in the end, is not really what is going to make you happy, no?
Mm-hmm.
So even if we maybe find difficult many situations, but all of them are just to help us to to find that real happiness and love, no?
Exactly. I agree.
Good. Okay, so maybe I'm going to ask if perhaps just one person
Mhm.
wants to ask someone something. I mean, not someone, Bhavani. But, ¿quiere preguntar a alguien algo? O no? Let's see if they have one question, and if not, we can finish and let you sleep.
Oh, I'm okay. No, don't worry. It's fine.
Okay. Mm. Karunadasi. Okay, okay. First Karunadasi, then Victoria, because and then we will see. Uh,
Mhm.
Karunadasi, can you unmute yourself? Yes. Wait. Yeah.
Jai Gurudev,
You're good
thank
there.
you. So some moments ago, you said that it was really important to have an effective communication
Mm-hmm.
and to try to achieve that, but that we also sometimes like face times in which the other person is not willing to talk.
Mm-hmm.
What would you advise us to do in these cases? I
Okay,
don't know if you
so
mentioned it or if I missed it, maybe.
yeah, no worries. I mean, I've been in that situation a couple of times, and it- you know, there's always a lesson behind it, I feel, for us to change and for us to have an opportunity to look at ourselves. And in those particular cases, especially because there is at that moment only you to look at. It's perfect, actually, a perfect mirror. Um, I would personally take it as an opportunity when you have that moment where you can calm down about the situation and you can reflect. I mean, this is how I would deal with it, because in the heat of the moment, you know, you're in this mode of wanting to communicate and trying to find a resolution. But then eventually, when you realize there's no real solution in that way of doing it, then yeah, in both cases, we have to always look at ourselves. But this gives you even more of an opportunity to really look at yourself. Sometimes looking at ourselves isn't so easy, right?
It looked
Yeah,
easy, but it looks easy, but it's not.
it looks easy, but it's not actually, because you really have to be honest. And for me, like I mentioned before, sometimes it can be quite a challenge if you don't try and look at it and face it. However, when you do look at it, it's very liberating, because all you have to do is accept it's there. I don't know if that helps. I don't know.
I think so. I think so.
Is it okay? Yes. So yeah.
Victoria. Mm,
Uh, Jay Gurudev, can you
Jay
listen
Gurudev,
good?
Victoria. Yeah, I can hear you.
um, go ahead.
More or less?
More or
Okay.
less.
Bhavani, so I'm a very big fan of you.
Oh.
I started dancing Bharatanatyam last year because
What?
of you, because I really admire you. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, which is your easiest way to connect with the divine, like by dancing or singing or atmakriya or doing puja or abhishekam, yagna, I don't know, which is like the easiest and your favorite way to connect?
Oh, this is actually quite tricky, because I never thought about it. Okay, so when I am acting or dancing, for instance, yeah, I don't dance so much anymore. But sometimes maybe I would, like, when I did some acting, for example, when I played Janabai, it was very, you absorb yourself into the character, you absorb yourself into that feeling. And if we learn to let go, it's one of the most beautiful experiences to connect. The moment you overthink things too much, it flows less. I don't know if you've discovered that. I remember it was the inauguration of the temple here in Jupiter, and Guruji told me you need to find two people to dance for the ritual, because the ritual also included presenting Bharatanatyam to the deity. And so I remember thinking, oh my God, I don't know, I couldn't find anyone. And I thought, okay, eventually I put myself forward. And it was also the Jubilee year. So we were kind of practicing or getting ready for the Just Love Festival. It was also Guruji's birthday. And then you had on top of that the inauguration of the temple.
Mm.
So we really didn't have any time to prepare a piece. And one of my friends decided very last minute, she's a Kathak dancer, and she said, oh, I'm coming. And I said, oh, great, let's dance together. So we didn't actually plan the last, we did 3 dances, but we didn't plan the last one. And this one was when Narasimha was going to come out of the pillar. And I remember just before we went to go and perform to the deity, I said to her, I don't know what I'm going to do. You just go with it. And we did something, and it felt like, it sounds very, I don't mean to sound ungrounded.
No, no, don't worry.
Okay, but it really felt like Guruji was taking care of it all. And that was the most powerful experiences I've ever, one of the most powerful I've had with dancing. What connects, so when you are, it doesn't matter what you're doing, provided you don't think too much. For me, regarding puja, one of the most favorite things I love to do is to dress the deity, actually, rather than the actual puja. It's the dressing part. But to choose what connects me, that's difficult, because they're all very beautiful. But yeah, oh, yeah, it's hard.
It's good. It's
Hard to
good.
say. Yeah, sorry, I can't give you a definite answer to that.
Okay, then let's go with Ambadas.
Sorry, Victoria, but I hope that's helpful. Keep dancing. It's lovely. Yeah. Yes.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai
Hi,
Gurudev.
Bhavani.
Hi.
I was wondering if you had any special moment that you treasure a lot because it was very special with Guruji that you can share with us. Like the one you, when you think, oh, or maybe that moment that always reminds you, hey, it's him. I don't know, something that helps you
Oh,
ground you or.
you know, one of the most beautiful things that I find, I'm trying to think actually what I could share that's beneficial. So one of the things that Guruji has taught me over the years is that how distance is not a factor in the relationship. You could be right next to him and you don't feel anything. But you could be on the other side of the world and you could be longing for him. And he will make it known to you. And this for me is the true relationship, you know. Sometimes we get so clouded maybe in what we see on the outside. You know, we think, okay, this person is there and we're living here and we're living in an ashram and I'm here working in my job. Actually, you know, sometimes I feel the most distant from Guruji and I'm next door. And there was one incident, so to answer your question, so it's very beautiful how he responds to what's inside of you, what's inside your heart, and how he knows, and that it's a grace to be thinking of him. I see that more and more in my life, you know, how he gives you that love to think of him. And so once I remember I was in the tent and we were doing a play rehearsal, and it was really quite late, around, I say, we start our rehearsals quite late. And all of a sudden I see my phone ringing and I see, I get a message that Guruji's calling me to go to his place for a puja that he was doing. And I was caught in I thought, no, I cannot leave people. Like, they've come and traveled for this rehearsal, because many people don't live on the property. So some were traveling. And I thought, I cannot just abandon and go, sorry, I'm going, bye. Practice on your own. And I thought, oh no, I have to do this. And everybody had, like, a few of the musicians and some of the Prabhus, they'd left to go to this prayer. And it was when we were doing the play on Dhanajad. I don't know if you know this story. When we get we will get the saint on YouTube. You can watch his story.
Yeah.
And I was reading the narration about how he was longing for Thakurji, Krishna, and I was crying whilst I was reading this narration, because I was thinking of Guruji, and there was such a pull. I cannot explain it, because sometimes when we feel something, we can't really put it into words, can we? So I was feeling this ache, and as soon as the rehearsal finished, I was like, okay, right. I packed up as fast as I could. I ran as fast as I could. And I was knocking on the door, and the door wasn't opening. And I was like calling Treya, who was inside. And I was like, can you open the door? And I got up and I managed to get Arati. And as Guruji was giving the prasad, he said, oh, you're here. He said, your mind was there, but your heart was here. And I remember thinking, yeah, it really was. Anyway, I was relieved that at least I got to
You could be in two
Connect.
places at the
Tell.
same time, Bhavani.
yeah, but how he knew,
Ah,
like, wow, this was really something so. And I remember he'd revealed a couple of these things when I was in London as well. How when we're thinking of him, and he knows. He really does know. I remember I told you about this picture. I would always talk about to this picture, and I would be like sharing everything, like, please, Guruji, please help this person, blah, 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 blah. And then we were on a pilgrimage in 2008 in India. And I was sitting just in front of Guruji on this sofa on the coach, sorry. And Ravi and Guruji were just behind me. And then he said, bro, because he calls Ravi bro, right? His cousin brother. He said, she prays about this and that. And I was like, oh no. And then Ravi was like, is it true, sis? And I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, I don't know if I should be praying to you anymore. You hear everything. Why are you listening? It's just these little things that reaffirm that he's hearing everything.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It's very relatable as well.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good.
okay.
Amber Darcy. It's a nice name.
So I think we are done. Thanks a lot, Bhavani. It was
Thank
super
you so
nice to have you here with us. And well, I hope to see you soonish. I think I'm going to see you. I don't know if we will have time to talk, because I'm just going for the Darshan on the 29th, and I will leave. I mean, I'm going one day and leaving the other one. But
wow.
Yeah.
That's nice for coming. That's a very speedy trip.
Yes, but we will see us in December, I think. You are going to India?
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Then we will see us there.
Lovely. Thank you, Swamini, for the
Thank
invite.
you. Much love also for Jay Treya and the dogs.
I will send them a little love.
Yes, please. Gracias a todos los que habéis estado aquí y los que veréis esto después. We chant Om Shanti Shanti and we finish. Okay. Om Shanti 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 Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om Prem Suglo Satgurudeva Shri Swami Swananda Mahaprabhu Ki Jai.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye. Good
Take
night,
care
Bhavani.
then. Good night, everyone. Good night,
Bye.
Swamini. Good night.
Si salen los corazones. Ño.
Yeah.
It's difficult to get the heart sometimes because if you don't put the there, no, it's not mine. Anyway,
I thought I'm not getting it at all, but it's there.
wait. Me too. I'm trying. Wait. Maybe I'm too close.
This could last a while, guys.
I know, but I don't know why it doesn't come out. Okay. Okay. Bye. Take
Good
it easy.
night.
Good night.
Bye. Bye.